Good afternoon, everyone. I'm Kevin Galetz, and I'm a program facilitator working with the Regina District Industry Education Council in the Sunwest School Division. Today it's my pleasure to introduce Adele Minish, who is a civil engineer working in Saskatoon. Adele grew up and went to school in Rosetown before beginning her post-secondary education at Lethbridge College. Today, Adele will tell us about her education and career journey. So just a reminder to all of you students who are watching this session, you'll be able to find this on the RDIEC YouTube channel. And if you do watch that at www.rdiec.ca, be sure to complete the student survey that can be found on the webpage. And when you complete the survey, your name goes in a monthly draw for a $50 gift card. So again, that's www.rdiec.ca. So once again, thanks, Adele, for doing this session today, and I'll turn it over to you.
Awesome, thank you. So like Mr. Gletz said, I am a civil engineer and I'm currently in Saskatoon, Saskatchewan. I work for Modus Ventures, which is a real estate development company. So as a project coordinator, my duties are project planning, which is developing plans, timelines, identifying tasks, setting goals, determining the scope of a project, budgeting, preparing budgets, monitoring project expenses, ensuring the project stays within the allocated budget, resource allocations, identifying the resources required for a project, including personnel, equipment, materials, ensuring that we have everything when we need it so that the project can run smoothly. Communication, facilitating communication between team members, stakeholders and other parties involved in the project, and providing regular updates to a project manager. Risk management, identifying and mitigating risks that may impact the project's success, such as technical issues, delays, conflicts between team members. Quality control, ensuring that the project deliverables are met and have up to a high standard set by the organization or your company. The project is completed to the satisfaction of the stakeholder. Documentation, maintaining project documents, including project plans, progress reports, and meeting minutes. Skills that a project coordinator need: strong time management skills, ability to work under pressure without sacrificing quality. You have to be very detailed oriented. Your projects, there's going to be so many things that come up that you have to make sure that you're on top of it. You have to be dependable, show up to work, a good problem solver, excellent written and verbal communication skills, and willingness to learn. Every day I learn something new. This is currently where I work. It's a site trailer at a construction site near the airport here in Saskatoon. We're currently building 6 hangars out of a 32 hangar project. So the picture on the top right is mid-construction. We've gone a little bit further now. We have some doors on. The bottom left is another project that we worked on. It's a lubrication station in Saskatoon. It's completed now. I have a picture of it later on. I've also worked at SaskTel Center doing a project there. We updated one of the private suites. So kind of all over, variety of different projects. Again, learning so many different things because of the wide variety. Some rewards in my project, or as a project coordinator, you see success in projects. You can see in the bottom left, we went from digging a hole on a blank lot to the framing stage of a building to finishing and having a car getting their oil change done. Some other rewards is motivating pay incentives. You get to work a lot of overtime, especially in the middle of a project. Usually the client wants it done quickly and obviously efficiently, and and then you get bonuses too if your project's done on budget, your schedule's completed on time. There's definitely incentives and you get bonuses sometimes. This is another project example. This was the SaskTel Center booth. You get to see it kind of in the middle of construction, a new booth seating there in the bottom, and then it's all finished. Some challenges of being a project coordinator: scope management is a huge one. things never go as we expect. The weather is a huge one for the project we're working on right now at the airport. We've had some terribly cold days, so the guys can't work outside, which causes some hiccups in our schedule. Trades, they're always busy with other projects, and you have to bug them to be on site to get your stuff done. Material delays with COVID, we've had troubles getting lots of stuff on site. So yeah, there's always moving parts that don't go as we expect. Working overtime. Summertime, usually you want to be at the lake. There's times that you have to be working overtime, and it's not always the best. But you do get paid for overtime, or I do at my job, so it's pretty good. Challenges with balancing tasks. I work on a variety of different projects at one time, so deciding which project is most important at which time and deciding when to do things at a certain time. Salary and benefits. So 40,000 to 77,000 is an average, and it's depending on your experience in schooling. Also, you can, like I said before, the bonuses is also like an adder on top of those usually. You do get benefits. I have a healthcare plan. I get dental, prescription. My massages are covered. I have a work cell phone, so they pay for my cell phone because I use it for my work. I get a pension as well. And then holidays, 3 weeks, and depending on the experience and your time at the company, you can usually get more. And then I wrote typical work hours, Monday through Friday, 8 to 5. And then, like I said, you're working overtime usually during a project. Educational requirements for a project coordinator vary depending on the employer and the nature of the work, but most employers prefer a candidate whose bachelor's degree in a related field, such as engineering degree. You could use business administration, construction management degree, a project manager, or civil architectural technologist. Right now, we have 2 architectural technologists from SciEst working with us, and they're helping a lot with doing some of our drafting work. They're helping out with some of the project coordinator tasks too, so they're learning lots, and it's great experience for them. So my journey and how I got to where I am today, I finished high school and went into drafting at Lethbridge College. And then I got hired on as an architectural technologist or CAD technologist at Clifton Associates in Regina. And I worked there for 2 years. So I did lots of like earthwork designs. I designed this road that went to a wind turbine, and then got to do a little bit of project coordination with that project too. But I mostly did drafting and lots of railway design, and I really enjoyed it. And then I decided to go and get my civil engineering degree, and I went to Lakehead University in Ontario. During my summers, I worked as a tech at Clifton. I worked in Saskatoon here, and I did concrete testing and some soil like densometer testing, and worked out in the field a lot. Great experience. I recommend it for anyone who's going into construction. It's a great way to meet people and talk to people. And yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. This is the Chief Mistawasta Bridge in the bottom middle. We did some concrete pours there overnight, worked an evening shift with 3 other people. It was so fun. And then after I finished my engineering degree, I came back to Saskatchewan and I got hired on with Meewasin Valley Authority, which is here in Saskatoon. I did project coordinating for them. We did lots of trail enhancements throughout the river valley. In the bottom right there, it's a parking lot that we designed near the Kinsman River front. It is now built, actually. I drove by there the other day and it's done. So that's kind of cool to be a part of. And then currently I'm working for Modus Ventures and as a project coordinator, doing more commercial development, which is like buildings instead of roads and railways and stuff that I've been doing before. So definitely learning every day and changing I lost my train of thought. Job opportunities as a drafter slash civil engineer, there are so many, it's hard to, I had a hard time writing them down. As a drafter, you can do architectural drafting, which is mostly like houses or buildings, electrical, doing hospital plans that have a ton of electrical work. You're doing those plans and making sure those are done right. Mechanical, the HVAC systems. Civil is what I had done, the roads and railways. Structural, bridges, uh, canals, like that type of dams. There's so many different types of things that you can do as a drafter. Yeah, I definitely recommend it as a career. It's very interesting and there's lots of job opportunities. Civil engineering, it's another broad thing that you can get into different pathways with what you want to do. You do lots of structural, you can do structural, which is like bridges again, geotechnical, how the earth works with stuff up top, like your buildings, transportation, environmental, water resources. And then, yeah, you can end up in the project coordinator slash manager roles. And then I have questions and answers. I'm done.
Adele, a couple things. So, like in your civil engineering, like you said, kind of that trains you a little bit for, or mostly for roads, bridge construction, that kind of thing. So now you're a project manager in a company that does mostly building. So is that transition, you're trained for that still? You found that you said you're learning lots. I get that, but
Yeah.
it still helps you in that regard too.
Yeah, it does. I would say that as not as much as the civil engineering part. Like I knew more about roads and railways finishing school than I would have about building a building. So that's why I think my job currently I'm learning so much. It's because I didn't know necessarily the whole building envelope of how things go together.
But I guess you obviously have the qualifications to do that then with the kind of
Yeah.
training, the education you've had, and that's a key thing for students to know, that is it's multifaceted. Like you can kind of go in different directions with it.
Yeah. Yeah. I was shocked. I didn't realize how many different opportunities you would have with doing a civil engineering degree and like the different paths that you could end up on and be trained. Like lots of places train you to do the job too.
So again, going back to project manager, so overall, you kind of oversee excuse me, that project. So right now, you're working on that hangar you said by the airport.
Yeah.
So you oversee that project, kind of the plans, the drawing, the actual the completion of it. So you're kind of getting everything coordinated and organized so that the job gets done.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's from even the drawings. Like I worked on lots of the drawings for the project and like the CAD work, and then going out for quotes and hiring people to come onto site to put the cladding on the outside of the building or um, everything. Yeah.
From the planning to the finish stage is the project.
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay, good. One more question I have, and really to do with your education, because you kind of have a unique path to getting that degree. Like you started off with a college diploma at Lethbridge. That was a 2-year program.
Correct. Yeah.
So, like a lot of students, they either go with the diploma and stay there, or some of them go straight to a university for a degree program. But you kind of combine the two. Did you still do that in 4 years?
I took 5 years. Yeah, it was hard to go back to school after working for a couple of years, and engineering is definitely not a cakewalk for me anyways. So yeah, I took an extra year and I'm glad I did.
So do you still, though, going back to your route that you went with a diploma first and then the add on for the degree, is that beneficial in your work now that you've had that both routes, or
For sure. And like lots of them, like Miwas and Modus both said like in my interview that it's awesome that you have that drafting experience and knowledge because it helps so much with like reading plans and talking to contractors who that's what they do is read plans. So yeah, it's definitely they go hand in hand and it's definitely an asset.
So that's not a bad thing for students to perhaps look at that going in.
No. And there's actually, so if you went the route of instead of doing the drafting diploma, if you did your civil tech first, Lakehead University has or did. I don't know if they still do. I'm assuming they do, but you can do a summer program and then you end up starting in third year of your civil engineering degree.
And you graduate with both a diploma and a degree in the end?
Yes. Yeah.
So kind of the same kind of idea. You get that both levels, get the drafting and then also the engineering expertise. Okay.
Yeah. Yeah.
Burnett, do you have any questions?
Thank you so much for addressing that education part, because that was the one question I was going to ask too about your diploma to your degree. Did you do a co-op program through your engineering portion? Did you take get involved through that, or how did these jobs come to happen?
No, I hadn't. So when I finished my drafting diploma, I got hired on with Clifton Associates, and they had given me summer jobs throughout like my university. So I always had kind of work, but I never did a co-op.
And that's, I think sometimes students weigh the odds of doing that co-op or not. And I guess you've shown them that, it wasn't necessary for your path. And that's awesome. Thank you.
Yeah.
Besides that, Kevin, I think Adele did an awesome job of kind of going through her path, and I have no more questions. Thank you.
Oh, I'm good too. So I think we'll stop the recording there.
Thanks.